Hi everyone, it's Charlotte from Lavender Healthcare. So come and stand on two mats, feet and knees are going to be hip width apart, slightly soften through the knees, squeeze up through the thighs and the buttocks. So we're in a nice straight position. We're going to start with our feet this morning. So we're going to come, lift the heels, spread into the toes, doing a nice stretch through the arch of the feet, mobilising through the ankles and the toes. A nice stretch through the feet. We're going to start adding in the arms. So we're going to go opposite arm, the opposite feet, and then alternating, so replicating that walking motion, but still really getting a nice stretch through the feet. Try and keep your pelvis nice and still when you're doing this. So we're staying level, the core's nice and engaged. We're just mobilising through the feet. Lovely, let's go one more on each side. And relax down, we're coming to the front of the feet. So you're going to curl the toes underneath, so you get a nice stretch through the front of the foot and up into the legs. So again, you're mobilising the toes and the ankles, the knees as well, but you're getting that lovely stretch all the way through the front of the legs. So a great one if you're prone to shin splints. We've got lots of high heels. Lovely, let's go one more on each side. Good, and relax down there. We're just going to come into some nice shoulder rolls. So we're going to get an inhale on the way up and exhale down. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. This is a lovely exercise for mobilising through the shoulders, stretching out through the chest, getting the upper back nice and awake as well. It's a really good exercise to do if you sit down for long periods of time, every 20 minutes or so, just do a couple of these shoulder rolls. It just gets everything moving, resets the posture, keeps everything nice and active. Let's go two more. And last one. And relax down, we're going to look over one shoulder and over to the other. So we're just mobilising through the neck. Just rotating as far as it feels comfortable, don't force it. Naturally your range of motion will increase as you keep doing it. So you don't need to force it round and cause yourselves any pain. Don't be alarmed if you hear any cracking or creaking. That does tend to go away the more exercise that you do. It's quite normal when you're feeling stiff and achy. Let's go one more on each side. Come into the middle, drop the right to the right shoulder. We're going to roll around to the front. Getting that nice stretch through the neck, the upper back and the shoulders. If you're quite tight, you'll feel this quite quickly. Again, don't force it, just roll around where you feel comfortable. Let's go one more on each side. And back into the middle. We're going to gently look up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. As you look up, just gently open the mouth. And you'll get a nice stretch through the throat. Nice and gently. Again, we're not forcing it, and do be careful if you have any blood pressure issues looking up towards the ceiling. Just go one more. And relax down. We're coming into our dumb waiters. Tuck the elbows in and take the hands out to the sides. Slight squeeze through the shoulder blades. So we're just getting the upper back nice and warm. This is a great one for mobilising through the shoulders. A little bit of stretch into the chest, but mainly it's waking up and activating the muscles into the upper back, particularly your rhomboid muscles. So So they're the muscles that tend to fall asleep if you spend a lot of time sitting hunched over, if you're at a desk, or on your phone, or on your laptop, even reading books, that sort of position. So that's really good, just to strengthen them up. You're less likely to get pain in the upper back then. Let's go 2 more. And on the next one, we're taking it into the Cleopatra, so just take the arms longer. Lovely, so just really reaching towards the walls. Just strengthening up into those shoulders a little bit more. Let's go 2 more. And relax down. We're coming to some squats today. So take the legs slightly wider apart so they're over the hip width position. Any problems with the knees, don't go quite so low into the squat, or if you're really struggling with it, come out completely and just come into another mobility exercise such as your roll downs. We're just going to take it down into the squat. So come down and back up. So we're just hinging through the hips, sending the bottom behind you. Good, and again, don't worry if there's any cracking or creaking. Stop as you get more mobile. So you should start to feel this in the front of the thigh, into the quads, and into the buttock muscles as well. It's also a good one for mobilising all the joints in the lower limb. And waking all those muscles up. On the next one, we're going to stay down, and we're going to do 8 all pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay down. We're going to lift up the right heel and the left. So you should really be feeling a nice burn through the thigh and probably in the buttocks by now. It's good. The muscles are awake. Burning's good. Pain not good. So if you are feeling any pain, please come out of this position. Go 1 more on each side. Can you sink it any lower? Let's stay here for a little bit longer. And release. Well done, everyone. Step it wider. And swing the arms, just mobilising through the whole of the spine. Give yourself a little rest, because I'm sure the legs are feeling that. Okay, come back into the centre of the mat. Feet, knees, hip width apart. We're going to take the arms overhead and we're just going to reach up towards the ceiling as if you was going to pick an apple off a tree. Getting that nice stretch through the side of the body. So trying to keep the pelvis as stable and as level as possible. It's just the arms that are reaching up. So obviously we're working our shoulders here. Stretching through the side of the body as well. Hopefully we start to feel the shoulders burn a little bit. They're working nice and hard. Let's go 1 more on each side. And we're going to relax down. We're just going to come into a couple of roll downs now. So we're going to tuck the chin to the chest. Start to roll yourself forward 1 vertebra at a time. Make sure the knees are nice and soft. And just relax yourself at the bottom. Pulling up through the stomach, start to reach back the spine. 1 vertebra at a time. Head and neck last to come up. So let's go again. Tuck chin to the chest. Soft through the knees and just hang at the bottom. Make sure the head and neck's nice and relaxed. And just see how tight you're feeling. See where it feels tight. So we're hopefully going to mobilise that through today's session. And let's go 2 more. Last one, tucking back through. Rolling forward 1 vertebra at a time. And hang at the bottom. This is all about mobilising the spine rather than stretching the hamstrings. So don't force yourself, just hang wherever you feel comfortable. Lovely. Okay, we're going to come to the end of our mats now. We're going to carry on with the roll downs, but we're coming into a roll down into a plank. So we're going to tuck chin to chest, roll yourself forward like we've been doing, walk the hands forward, set yourself up into a nice plank. Walk our hands back behind us, roll back and up to normal. We're going to do another 3 of those and we're holding our planks for 10 seconds. So tuck your chin to your chest, roll yourself forward, walk the hands, sit up in that nice plank, so make sure the buttocks is sort of level with the rest of the body and you're not sort of up here. Equally, you're not sort of hanging down here. Walk your hands back. And back to standing, so we've got the last 2. And last plank, so roll for 3. Walk the hands forward and set up that lovely plank, hands underneath shoulders, body nice and strong. And walk the hands back. Lovely, roll yourselves forward again. And bring yourself onto your mat. We're coming onto the back to start off with. So lay yourselves onto your back. We're starting in our rest position. So we're going to have our feet and knees hip width apart, arms relaxed down by the side, and the head and neck is nice and long. So thinking lengthening through the head. We're going to come into a couple of tuck and tilts to start off with. So you're going to tuck the pelvis under, flattening the spine to the floor, and then untuck. So just mobilising through the pelvis here, relaxing off some of the muscles surrounding it. Lovely, so we're going to start to make that movement a bit smaller. Then coming halfway between the tuck and the tilt to find our neutral spine or neutral pelvis. If you want to check that's correct, you're just going to take your thumbs together and your fingers together into a diamond position, pop your thumb to your belly button, fingers down towards the pubic bone, then have a quick look and that should be level. That's nice and level, then you're in your neutral spine. From there we're going to start coming into our tabletops. So we're going to take one leg into tabletop, brace through the stomach, take the second leg up. We're going to take one leg down and take the second leg down. So we've got alternate our leading leg, take one leg up, brace down through the stomach, take the second leg up. One leg down and the other leg down. So we're going to keep alternating our leading legs, so they're nice and strong. And this is all about just waking up our stomach muscles. A few things you want to be focusing on here. You want to make sure that as you're lifting your legs, your spine doesn't either arch or flatten. So everything needs to stay in the same position except for the legs. So if you are noticing that your spine's either arching or flattening to the floor and you can't control it, just come down into only taking one leg up at a time. Strengthen those stomach muscles up and then we build into it. You don't want any back injuries. Let's go, one more. Lovely, we're going to come into our shoulder ridges. So same position to start off with, we're still in our rest position. Arms down by your side or either across the chest, whatever feels most comfortable for you. We're going to take a nice breath in, and as we breathe out, we're just tucking that pelvis under, peeling the spine off of the floor, one vertebra at a time, squeezing through those buttock muscles, We hold at the top and then roll our way back down. So again, we're going to tuck under, peel the pelvis off, squeezing the buttocks all the way up, holding it at the top, and relax down. So here we really need to think of making sure our upper body and our neck and our shoulders are nice and relaxed. We don't want them sort of hunched and tight. If you've got anything to hand, you can pop something in between your knees like a cushion or a rolled up towel. And give that slight squeeze, and that gives you a bit of work into the inner thigh as well. Let's go 2 more. And last one. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to come up into our one leg stretches. So we're going to come up into tabletop to start off with. One leg up, raise down through the stomach. Bring the second leg up. From there, we're pushing the leg away from us, about 45-degree angle, as if we was pushing a button halfway up the wall. So this is working obviously the legs, but it's also strengthening up through our stomach muscles. The further your limbs go away from you, the more the abs have to work. So again, what we're focusing on here is that the pelvis doesn't start tipping. So as the leg goes away, everything should stay in that same position. Your spine shouldn't start to arch or flatten. The pelvis isn't tipping forward with you. Everything should stay where it is. And we just move in the leg. Let's go one more on each side. You take one leg down and take the other leg down. We're coming into some abdo preps now to get the stomach muscles working even more. So we're going to interlace our fingers, place them behind the head and the neck, and we're going to take our elbows so that they're just out in our peripheral vision, and they're going to stay in that position the whole time. We're not going to be sort of flapping them around. We're going to take a nice breath in, and as we breathe out, we're just sliding the ribs down towards the hips and coming back down. So we come up with an exhale, and down on the inhale. So this exercise is an abdominal exercise, not a neck exercise. So we want our neck nice and relaxed, just in the hammock of our hands, and the stomach muscles should be doing all of the work, making sure those elbows aren't moving so that you're not yanking yourself up. And trying to make sure that your neck position doesn't change either. So imagine there's a little peach underneath the chin, and you don't want to squash it, but you don't want to lose it either. So you just want to keep that there. Two more. Last one. Relax down, but keep your hands where they are. So we're going to come into our oblique preps now. Same sort of movement, but we're twisting to one side. And this is to do the side of the stomach muscles. So rather than this one was to do sort of right the way through the front of the abs, this is on the side. So we take a nice breath in. And as we breathe out, we come up as we did before, but we twist over to the opposite knee. And back down. Same breathing pattern, exhale up, inhale down. And you're twisting through the body to make you come opposite elbow to opposite knee rather than just come in with the elbow. Go one more on each side. And relax down, relax the arms down. We're just going to come into our knee hugs. Just bring the knees up towards the chest. Give them a nice hug in towards you. Just stretching out through the hips and the lower back and allowing those abs to have a little bit of a break. So in a second, we're going to come into our crisscross movement, which is combining our one leg stretch that we did earlier with our oblique prep that we've just done. And it's just going to make our abs work even harder. So this is just a nice core workout. A little bit of coordination involved as well, just to challenge you and get you thinking. Okay, let's relax the legs down. So we're just going to make sure we're in the right position to start off with. So make sure that your feet and knees are hip width apart. Really make sure that your pelvis is in neutral, that spine's in neutral. So if you need to, do your tucking tilts again and bring the diamond on. Just make sure that you're nice and level through there. So we're going to start by taking one leg into tabletop, brace down the stomach, bring the second leg into tabletop. Interlace your fingers, place them behind the back of the neck. From there, we're going to stretch one leg out towards the wall. We're going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to come up into that abdo prep position and then turn into the obliques. And then we're going to swap. So we're doing opposite elbow, opposite knee, nice and controlled. If you're uncomfortable with this at any point, please drop down. But if you're okay with me, we're going to take the pace up. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to centre, drop the head, one leg down and the other leg down. Perfect. Just bring one leg up into knee hug. Take the other leg and just get a nice stretch out through there. Again, have a little break from the abs. Just for that nice stretch through the hips, the knees, the back. Just breathe into it. And relax the knees down. We're going to come onto our side to do our clown movements now. So lay onto your side in a nice straight line, arm underneath the head. You're then going to bring the feet up so they're just about in line with the buttocks. Then we're going to take the top hip down towards the feet and roll it slightly forward. So imagine you've got headlights on your hips and you want them just to face down, just in front of the mat. Hand wherever you'd like it. You can either have it on the side or out in front of you, but if it is out in front of you, imagine this sort of like a poppadom or something like that, and you don't want to squash it, so you're not gripping on for dear life, it's just a light pressure to stabilise you. From there, we're going to come into our clamp, so we're going to lift and lower of the knee, keeping the feet together. Upper back's nice and relaxed. So you should be feeling this in the hip, buttock, sort of back pocket of your jeans region. And on this next one, we're holding it open. And we're going to go for 8 little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it open. And relax the foot down. We're now going to take both feet up into the air and lift and lower. It's the same movement, just with the feet up. And we're holding this one open, and we're doing our pulses again. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it open. And relax down. Lovely. Bring up the knees. We're coming into our arm openings. So our arms are going to come out in front of us, knees up at 90 degrees, and we're just going to take the arm overhead and reaching it behind us, following the hand with your eye gaze. So you're getting a nice mobility through the whole of your spine, into the neck, shoulders are moving, and you're getting that lovely stretch through the front of the chest to really open everything up. Don't force it if you don't naturally reach the floor behind you. Work within your own mobility. We're going to do 2 more. And last one. Lovely. We're going to bring ourselves onto our front. So we're going to do a little bit of lower body and upper body at the same time here. So we're going to come into a diamond press. So that means is we're bringing our thumbs together and our fingertips together. We're placing them just underneath where our forehead's going to rest naturally. So the elbows are sort of out to the side, about in line with the shoulders. Just rest your head down to start off with, and feet are nice and relaxed as well. So we're thinking about here about drawing our shoulder blades down the back towards the buttocks, and as we do that we're just going to reach up, head and neck, so that you're sort of looking straight forward, but you should be feeling a nice bit of activation, that your muscles are working into the upper back. From there we're coming into our one leg kick, so bringing one leg up to 90 degrees, and we're going to do a heel, toe, heel and release. Heel, toe, heel and release. So this is all about getting the hamstrings nice and awake, a bit of mobility through the knee and the foot, and obviously a lot of coordination here, all the while our upper back's working as well. So we're just getting all our muscle groups working at the same time, just to make our workout a bit more effective. So you should be feeling the muscles in the back of the thigh working here. Let's go one more on each side. And we're just going to relax down. So we're just going to do a little bit more upper body work. So relax your arms down just by your side. And we're going to come into our breaststroke press. So we're just going to start by rolling the shoulder blades inwards, reaching down towards the feet and relaxing down. So roll in, reach down towards the feet and relax down. So you should be feeling the muscles into the upper back, so between the shoulder blades working here. This is a really lovely sort of upper back activation workout. Good one for posture correction. Head's nice and relaxed onto the mat at this point. And just really stretching down towards the feet. And I'm just going to go 2 more. Last one. And relax down. We're going to come into our cobras. So we're going to place our hands with just about in line with the shoulders on each side. Relax down the head. We're going to start to bring ourselves up into the cobra position. Nice and gently. And what we're really focusing on here is that we're keeping the ribs tucked in, so you're not just sort of hinging off the spine like this. You're nice and controlled. And then we're releasing down. We're going to come back up into cobra, so take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, you're just going to start to peel yourself off. Gently getting the back moving. If this is too much for your back, please come out of it and just come into child's pose instead. But keeping those ribs tucked in. And relax down. We're going to come into one more of those. So take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, peel yourself up. Mobilising through the back. Stretching out through the front of the chest as you're looking along in front of you. Making sure those ribs are engaged, they're tucked in and not just flaring out. And nice and tucked. Relax down. And you're just going to push yourself back into child's pose. So just stretching the spine in the opposite direction. We want the spine to be nice and supple and to be allowed to move in all ways. So you should be feeling here a nice stretch through the sort of shoulders, all the way through the back, lower back particularly, into the hips, the knees, the ankles. It's a great stretch position and a great stretch position for relaxation as well. So just take your time here. We're going to take a couple of breaths and just relax into it. Lovely. We're going to come up into a 4-point kneeling position. So make sure that your hands are underneath the shoulders and knees are going to be underneath the hips. Make sure your pelvis is in a nice neutral position, so make sure it's not sort of dropped down like that all the way up here. Make sure you're in a nice level position, core's nice and engaged. And we're just going to come into opposite arm, opposite legs like our Superman. So we're just going to gently take one leg and one arm forward and back to centre. And back. So we take one arm forward, one leg behind us. Nice and controlled. Really controlling the transition between the two movements. Try not to dip our back too much in the middle. So this is a full sort of body strengthener, this one. We've got our shoulders working, we've got our upper back working, core's nice and engaged, and you'll feel it through the buttock muscles as well. See the leg. Let's do one more on each side. And last one. And back to centre. So we're going to come onto our other side to do the clam on the other buttock. So lay yourself nice and straight onto your mat, head resting onto the lower arm. Then we're going to bring the knees up so that the feet are just in line with the buttocks. Top hip then goes down towards the feet, and then pointing those headlights down again towards the floor. Light pressure through the hand, or it's on top of the hip. Feet stay together and the knees going to lift and lower. So we should be feeling it through this hip buttock area. If you're not, reset the position. Often it's because you're too far back. We're holding this last one open, and we're going to go for the 8 little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it open. And relax it down. Both feet are now coming up, and we're going to lift and lower again. So buttocks are really important to strengthen. They're really important to have nice and strong because it protects you from lower back problems and hip problems. So particularly if you sit down a lot, your buttock muscles tend to switch off because you're just sitting on them all day. So it's really important to do the strengthening exercises as well, just to keep them as strong as possible, protecting the whole of the pelvis and the back. And we're holding this next one open. And we're going 8 little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it open. And relax it down. Perfect. So we're going to come into those arm openings on this side as well. So knees are up into 90 degrees. Arms out in front of you. I'm taking the arm behind us. Following the hand with your eye gaze. So you get that lovely mobility through the whole of the spine. That opening through the chest. Again, only going as far as you're comfortable with. Don't push it if your spine doesn't like to twist that far. Lovely. Let's go 2 more. And relax down. Lovely, we've got one more ab move to do before we come into our stretches. So we're just going to bring ourselves to the front of our mat in a nice seated position. So we're coming into our roll-ups. So this is the stomach strengthening exercise. So we're going to be seated at the front of our mat with our legs just bent out in front of us. Arms are going to come out in front. We're then going to drop the spine into a C curve, roll ourselves down, and back up again. So it's really important that you drop into that C first, roll back and come back up. Now you should feel this pretty quickly in the core, so you should be feeling it down in these muscles here. And this is then up to you how far you go back. So you can go even further back, which is obviously going to be a bit more strenuous on the abdominal muscles. If you're comfortable here, stick here. Principle's the same though, drop into that C curve first come back. For those of you that want to, you can come all the way back, arms go behind you, and we reach back up. Only go all the way though if you can get yourself up without having to launch yourself like that. If you're doing that, stick to just down here. It's a fabulous abdominal exercise however far back you go, but the main point is that it's controlled. So as long as whatever you're doing is controlled, that's absolutely fine. And we're going 2 more. And last one. Lovely. Relax yourselves onto your back. Let's come into some stretching. So we're just going to start by taking one leg up towards the ceiling, grabbing the back of the thigh, and hugging into us, getting that nice stretch through the hamstring. Just breathe into it. You know, the bounce, the stretch. We just take it as far as it feels comfortable to, and then just breathe into it. You should feel the muscles just release. You shouldn't feel any pain when you're stretching. It should just feel like a nice stretch. If there is any pain, just release it off a little bit. Lovely, pop that foot onto the opposite knee and hug it into the chest. We're just coming into a buttock stretch here into our gluteal muscles. And same thing, we're just breathing into it. We're not going to force it. So we're just going to come up into the other leg, hug behind the thigh, stretching into the other hamstring. Same thing apply. We're trying to keep that leg as straight as possible, but again, don't force it. If your hamstrings are tight, it's not going to want to. Lovely, pop that foot onto the other leg and hug it in towards you, coming into that glute stretch again. So you can feel this into your hip as well. Sometimes you've got tight hips, as well as the buttocks. It's quite common to have tight glute muscles when they're weak as well. So as well as stretching out the buttocks, do make sure you do your strengthening exercises. Lovely, we're going to relax that down. Bring yourselves into a seated position. So we're just going to do a little bit more of a spinal movement. So just bring yourselves into a cross-legged position if you're comfortable to. You can have your legs out in front, wherever feels comfy for you. We're going to come into a prayer position. So bring the hands together, place them on the breastbone, and we're just going to twist the spine round, over to each side. Just getting some nice mobility through the spine. Hips obviously staying still. And just rotating around. Like I said before, it's really important that the spine can move in all directions, so that you then don't injure yourself when you need to move in that direction. One more on each side. And relax down. We're coming to our shoulders. So reach one arm in front of you, hug it into the chest and look over the shoulder that you're stretching. And you should feel a really nice stretch through the shoulder, the upper back and into the neck as well. Particularly stretching through the rotator cuff muscles here. sure lots of you have had problems with rotator cuff muscles. It's a common shoulder injury. So we just want to keep it nice and supple. And release up, and to the other side. So again, bring the arm across, hug it into the chest with the opposite arm and look over the shoulder that you're stretching. It's quite normal to feel tighter on one side than the other, so don't panic if you do. Just work with that muscle how it feels, only stretch it to a nice comfortable level. And relax off. We're just going to stretch out the neck, so tuck the chin towards the chest. Gently pull the back of the head over to one side. You're getting a nice stretch through the back here into your trapezius muscle. And just play around where it feels comfortable for you to have that stretch. Everyone's slightly tighter in different areas. And relax off. We're going to come to the other side, tuck the chin to the chest, and just rotate the neck around. Your hands here to guide the neck, not just sort of force it or to shove it. Just be nice and gentle. Again, feeling the nice stretch down through this trapezius muscle here, the side of the neck, and going into the upper back. And relax off. We're just going to gently bring ourselves up to a standing position. So tuck the toes underneath you and roll yourself up. Please be careful if you have any blood pressure issues, take your time with it. We're just going to do a couple of shoulder rolls now that we're up. Just make sure we're nice and loose and let any blood pressure settle down before we come back into a few roll downs. So tuck the chin to the chest, roll yourself forward, hang yourself at the bottom. Hopefully feeling more supple than when we started. We're going to go for 2 more. And last one. Lovely. So we're just going to finish with our upper body warm up, just to make sure we're nice and relaxed and set for the day. So we're going to come into our upper body warm up, take a breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. So we take a breath in and out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and release. Let's do a couple more. And let's go for the last one. Lovely, well done everyone. Thank you for joining in today.